Reading self-help books without taking any action is the equivalent to watching YouTube videos on how to lose fat, how to build muscle, and expecting to get results and expecting to lose fat without actually doing the steps that are required. So around, I'd say 4 years ago, I got into this whole self-help, self-development world, digesting book after book, reading things like, The Power of Now, Think and Grow Rich, all these like finance and spiritual and soul developing books. And the main message, like I will summarize every single book in one sentence that I got from it now, is no, without action, you are not going to get the results that you want, right? You can't just sit in self-pity. You must do the steps. And self-help books are great for learning and knowing the steps that you need to take. Like, let's say you're going through a heartbreak. Read the steps on how to overcome a heartbreak, and then don't read more books on how to become over a heartbreak, and then going deeper and deeper, how to find the one, how to get over the one. It's just you're digging yourself into a deeper hole. Learn the steps you can learn from one book, and apply those steps. Same thing with fat loss. Watch one video, read one book, How to Lose Fat 101. Get all those steps and then just follow them. Because here's what I learned around 4 years ago. The more you get into this cycle, the more you get into this trap of more books, you almost feel good from reading. You almost feel like you're accomplishing something, but you're not. You're just reading things without taking any action. And it's almost like a compromise, and it's also almost like a fallout for not taking action. But you feel good, you feel like you're making progress because you're reading. And this was exactly me around 4 years ago. I was reading self-help books, and I was taking no action, nothing towards my goal. I was still fat, I was still broke, and most importantly, I still felt like I had no purpose. But I kept reading these books because it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was moving closer. And let me tell you when everything changed. Everything ended up changing when I remember I was watching this one YouTube video. I was just, I was consuming all this content, like I was saying, reading books and watching YouTube videos about self-help. And I watched this one YouTube video where it kind of highlighted the power of writing, and the power of writing your goals, your reflections, your things that you've accomplished today, your things that you want to accomplish. And it was basically highlighting the power of visually writing out your day, your reflection. You're basically analyzing your day, your week, your month, your year, and whatnot, and seeing what you've really accomplished. And when I wrote down the things that I've done, the things that I've tried to accomplish, or the things that I was working towards, I realized that I've done nothing for an entire year. I just read books, and I made no progress. I was, like I said, still fat after 1 year of reading all these books. I was still unhappy. I was still broke. I was still felt like, what am I doing with my life? But then I realized the more and more I wrote and I analyzed and I reflected, like it didn't just change all of a sudden over one night. I didn't just write a paragraph and, oh my God, my world opened up. It was a gradual thing of writing. Also, like I never stopped reading these books because you can learn and pick up new things. But the difference is I read and I act right away now. And now that I do those things, I read something in like a self-help book. It'll say, like, for example, one thing that I've taken away from one book that I read was The Untethering Soul. Great book, highly recommend it. And it was basically saying how in order not to feel like anxiety, in order not to feel stress, the way you get out of this reframe is just feel lucky that you can feel these things, because your thoughts don't define who you are. They're just thoughts. But your thoughts can shape your feelings, and it's okay to feel these things. And then instead of like sitting and learning more and more about that, every time I get a little bit anxious now, because I've written about it, and I've written about something that, you know, I was feeling, or something that made me uncomfortable, I actually felt less anxious about that thing, because I realized and I implemented everything that I've read, everything that I've learned. Remember, knowledge is not going to lead you where you want to go. Knowledge plus execution will. So think about it like this. Somebody who wants to lose, call it something simple. Not simple, but like a good goal. 50 pounds. That's a great goal. The person who wants to lose 50 pounds sets a goal for himself. I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 5 months. Now, in those entire 5 months, there's 2 people. Let's just create a hypothetical scenario. The first person spends all 5 months researching, reading books, learning, and then the second person reads 1 book, or even gets 5 steps, and then acts on all those 5 steps. And then at the end of those 5 months, what ends up happening? Well, the first person, still 50 pounds overweight, but they just have this immense knowledge. And remember, a lot of knowledge can lead to inaction, and a lot of knowledge can lead to anxiety, because that's what I felt. I felt like in that year that I was reading and learning, I'm like, oh my God, I'm overstimulated with all this information and all this self-help knowledge. Like my heart's like fucking like pounding. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I've got so many things, I don't know what to execute on. Right? It's the same thing. But then for number 2, they read the 5 steps, just 5 foundational basic steps, and then they act on it. And then at the end of the 5 months, 50 pounds have been melted. There's a reason all these business gurus, all these fitness gurus, all these like YouTube videos of self-help, like, and all these business videos are also fucking self-help too. Don't get it twisted. Oh, how to make $100,000 in 1 year and 7 months. They're just all like clickbait thumbnail titled videos, just to get you to watch, just to get you to feel like you're doing something, when in reality you're just driving people views and getting them more money. Because all you're doing is just making yourself feel like you're doing something, when in reality you're not doing anything at all. You're just consuming. The moment you stop consuming, the moment you turn everything off and actually start producing and actually acting on the things that you've taken in, like, you've fucking learned enough. You have enough information. You have enough knowledge, right? If you just want a basic breakdown of how to lose 50 fucking pounds, eat whole foods 80% of the time, eat in a calorie deficit, strength train minimum 2 times a week, and do some walking, like 30 minutes a day. These 4 things, do that consistently over time. You don't need to hire a coach unless you need somebody to keep you accountable. Link in the description. You don't need to watch another book. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to watch another video. Just act, because that's all that's missing in your life. Action, repeated action. Okay? That's really all I got for this video. Like, it's just basically one of my LinkedIn posts that I wrote really inspired me to make this video, and it's just, I'm so pissed at this whole self-help business and fitness niche, because it's honestly so annoying. All these gurus, they really piss me off, and it's a reason why I deleted Instagram and I deleted TikTok. It's just because I felt like it moved from books to Instagram to social media, because I went from reading books, which I still do, it's good, but it's not my key and highlight of the day, to consuming content and consuming social media, feeling like I was actually moving forward and doing stuff, when in reality I was just re-listening to the same recycled content every single fucking day. and not making any progress. Zero progress. Zero. But I felt good and I felt like I was doing something. I felt dopamine because I was watching these quote unquote good progressive, I'm not wasting time. I'm listening to business videos. I'm not wasting time. I'm watching fitness videos. When in reality it was just the same shit repeated and rinsed and recycled. Like, for example, I'm not going to shit on Alex Hormozy because I think he's a great guy, but I just want to use him as an example because everybody knows him. If you listen to, say, 10 of his videos, just listen to 10 of his videos, you will see a pattern. It's just, that's all that marketing is. Remember, guys, don't get fooled by all these gurus. All marketing is just the same information said in different ways and presented to you in different formats, in different sentences. Right? So stop consuming, please. You're going to make no progress. Take action now. Take action today. And if you want, the first thing that you can do is, and it's going to change your life, just start with one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. You got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, just pick A. Pick A. Say, okay, I'm going to eat whole foods 80% of the time. Just start with that. Or if that's too much for you, just say, I'm going to go on a fucking 30-minute walk every single day. And watch how these little steps, how these little actions will transform your life and set you on the proper trajectory of your life path. If you're new, I love you. Subscribe, create more than you consume, serve others, love everyone. Peace.